What?
That happened again. Our closed captioning's gone down. Billy! Hey, Billy. We're going to need you. The closed captioning's gone out again. We're just going to need you to kind of American style. We're back in 2, 3, 1. Hello, Harrisburg! Hey! We've got a live studio audience tonight, and if you look under your seats, you'll find keys to a brand new car! I'm just kidding. It's actually Art Thursday here at Good Morning Harrisburg, and I've got with me Mr. Butterhead, who is... You've of course heard of figure painting. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the world's most renowned butt painter.
Butter.
Mr. Butter.
Butter painter.
Mr. Butter painter.
Not butter.
Butter butt.
Not butter. Butter painter. I paint the butter.
He paints with butter, ladies and gentlemen. Well, he's got this brand new book on butt painting.
No, it's... Yes.
So why don't you tell me about your new butt book?
Okay, my new book is a collection of my most recent works. I was going through sort of a dark period, so I used only melted butter. And basically what I did is I took volunteers and I coated them in butter, and then I sent them running down a hallway. And whichever way they slipped and fell is how I would then paint.
Wait a minute.
No, it's true.
You mean on like page 593? That's the image of one of your volunteers lathered up in butter.
Oh no, page 593 is a self-portrait.
That's you!
Yes.
That is you!
All of me.
Lathered in butter.
Absolutely.
Slipping.
Yeah.
And you've got something sort of in your...
I was holding the camera at the time, and when I fell, it got stuck.
Oh, wow, that must be a long lens.
Thank you.
Oh, man. Well, in this artistic day and age, though, you know, and there's so many young kids out there who are painting with things like chocolate, fish, and they're painting with fish, and I don't know, whatever that is, and they're even throwing fish at walls to see just what splatters up.
Actually, I started that craze too. It was the subject of my first book. I became very, very successful because of it.
Wow, well, why don't you tell me more about that? And why don't you address also what you think of margarine? I hate it.
Okay, first of all, I don't use margarine. It doesn't melt correctly. Now, as far as my first book goes, as far as throwing fish at the walls, I was inspired by the Muppets. Have you ever seen the Muppets?
No, what are these Muppets you speak of?
The Muppets are basically like marionette puppets, okay?
You mean so they just kind of move around like somebody's got their hands up their butters?
And there was a Muppet that used to throw fish, and they would throw them, and they would return it back to him like boomerang fish. It was amazing.
Oh shit!
And I was inspired. So my initial plan is to try and boomerang my own fish. I used cod, and I used salmon, and I used tuna. Those are heavy. And it didn't work, but what I did notice is that when I would throw them, they would stick to things and just kind of spray apart all over them. Right. As that would happen, I saw Art. And I said, Art, listen, I have got this idea. I am thinking, if we were to take paintings, or paints, and paint pictures of fish exploded all over the walls, we could make a killing. And by God, I did.
Wow. You saw art where other people saw a fishy mess.
Yeah, pretty much.
A messy fish on the wall.
A messy fish on the wall. Where you're thinking, wow, this kid must have been dropped on his head.
Yeah. And beaten repeatedly by his parents and a bear and 5 pumas.
Come on.
That's what I would have thought. You saw art.
Okay, first of all, the scars from being attacked by a clan of midgets has got nothing to do with bears or the pictures thing.
Right.
I appreciate you not to bring it up again.
I've got a clown scar right here.
That's from a clown.
It's from a balloon animal, but nonetheless a clown.
If I could ask what happened with this terrible clown incident?
Well, now that you want me to talk about it, we were throwing fish against the wall because there was this new craze.
See?
Things just come around like that. And this clown just kind of comes up to me, you know, his 19 friends let him out of the car, kind of pops out, comes up with his big shoes, and he says, "Hey kid, how'd you like a balloon animal?" And he squirts me with this flour, and then he has these rockets in his shoes that kind of propel him backwards, and that's when his balloon animal pops, and I have to live with this.
I hit a clown with my car once.
You hit a clown with your car?
I was driving down the road about 60 miles an hour. There was a clown in front of me. I didn't see him. He stepped right out in the middle of the road. First, I ran over his giant foot.
Whoa!
Then when I backed up to make sure that it actually happened, because you don't believe it when you first see it, no, slammed right in.
Right into the clown again.
You drove over him twice.
You drove over the clown twice.
I had to be sure it was a clown.
2 times you ran over a clown, you're saying.
Yes, but if you don't mind, what does this have to do with my book on butter?
Absolutely nothing. But back to the butter book. One more question about the butter book before we let our guests go. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Cod. Tell me, how were you inspired to write that movie?
Well, it was a combination of the butter works and the fish works. And as soon as I had realized that not only could I fling fish at the wall and have them explode and create art, I could then butter them afterwards, paint pictures of them, and then consume them. Which is why the book and movie have not been released. There's no proof that I ever did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is art. Thank you.